Thumpers, welcome back to another trailer reaction from Hyper Rabbit Power Go. We are here to do a trailer reaction for Dark Phoenix. Everyone's been asking. I've heard a lot of controversial things about this trailer and about this movie.
We will see.
It apparently spoils a character's death in the trailer.
Well, you just spoiled it for Augie just now. I knew that, but Augie didn't know
Christ,
that.
I did not know that.
Well,
either way, yeah, I'm about to watch it.
It was super interesting because the director just like openly talked about it in an interview, and I was like, cool, I'm not going to touch this interview because I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I think, for me personally, I have a very good idea who the character is.
Mm-hmm. So you just know that somebody dies?
Yeah, once I heard that somebody will die, I was like, okay, I'm 90% sure I know exactly who it is.
I mean, it's called The Phoenix.
You know what else is interesting? The movie's not called XMen anything.
No.
Yeah.
Remember years ago
Phoenix
when
with
the
a circle
first
and the
first
X.
Wolverine movie, it felt like they were too scared to call it Wolverine, so they called it X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah.
It's like
because they were afraid of the And
now the superhero movie world that we live in is like, yeah, you're gonna call it Logan. You're gonna call it Dark Phoenix.
You mean we
it's
didn't have to put Batman in the title, and people still knew what the Dark Knight was?
Yep.
How crazy!
Yep.
That's cool, guys.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
It is.
I'm looking forward to seeing what this trailer has to offer.
Yeah.
What it's going to tell us about some of the characters, new characters, old characters, and this movie's coming out at such an interesting time with everything happening with Disney and Fox.
Yeah.
We don't know if this will be the last X-Men movie or if we're still going to get New Mutants. There really is no real news that says like this is still happening, this isn't. So I don't know.
I couldn't possibly be less excited for this movie.
That's a bummer.
I'm not looking forward to this movie whatsoever.
Because this should be like super cool.
This should be like their magnum opus. This should be like the huge closing number.
Yes.
And it's sad that I'm not excited for this. That it's the Phoenix saga that they're introducing, and I'm just like, I don't give a shit, guys. Like, honestly, right now, I'm ready to move on. And I don't know what to expect, and my bar is like,
okay.
It's down there.
Down there.
Okay. Down there. All right. Well, let's check it out.
Here we go. Ooh.
Why did you make me do that?
It's Jean Grey.
Look at me. Focus on my voice. I'm not giving up on you, Jean.
She was my friend.
Uh-oh.
You're my family, Jean. Stop. No matter what.
Stop.
That doesn't mean Mystique's dead.
You're special, Jean. And if you stop fighting that force inside you, if you embrace it, you will possess the very power of a god.
Oh man, I love McAvoy. He's so good.
He's great.
Who died?
That was a cool shot. The Beast.
Tell me how we fix this, Charles. Tell me what to do. I don't know what to do.
What they don't understand, what they fear, and what they fear, we seek to destroy.
Dope.
This is your fault, Charles. I tried to protect her.
I'm scared. When I lose control, bad things happen to people I love.
The girl dies. She's still Jean. We can still help her.
Sometimes you want to believe people are something that they are not. By the time you realize who they are, it's too late.
Nice accent. I like that. Alexandra Shipp. Dark Phoenix. Oh my god.
She's coming.
Well, all those guys are dead. Yeah, man, that's pretty much what I expected. I still don't know if it confirms that Mystique dies. I mean, I think we can all assume that, but like, it could have been a pulling the rug out from under us trailer moment. Like,
I've been waiting for her to die since 2 movies ago.
It is still weird that you have to judge these movies differently than whatever you think of the comic books or the source material. But it is still weird and difficult to make the separation that like this is a new iteration of this character. When I see Jennifer Lawrence, just because I know Jennifer Lawrence is a very popular actress and was an Oscar nominee and winner, a nominee at least,
winner,
right?
Yeah.
Like early winner. What did she win an Oscar for?
She won an Oscar for
Winter's Bone? No, she was nominated for that.
I'll Google it.
The point is
Silver
that
Lining Playbook?
thank you, Silver Linings Playbook.
Okay.
Thank you, Lucas. The point, of course, is that Mystique normally doesn't occupy that type of role in an X-Men story.
Right.
So to see her come up
More
and be like, "You're my
tertiary.
friend," I'm like, that. It's still kind of weird, but
it's a different tone.
Whatever,
and
yeah.
I feel like they're, with Jennifer Lawrence at least, they're going hard in the paint with the character that they created for her.
Right.
So I feel like they're just kind of reminding us of like, this is the identity we carved out for her. But at the same time, at the last 2 movies I saw her in, I was like, we don't need you. Like, we don't need this character right now. This character feels extra.
It's weird because at the end of X-Men First Class, she went full baddie. She was on Magneto's side, and it felt like that movie, more than anything that they've done since, was absolutely like, this will eventually tie into the first X-Men movie.
2000,
it's a prequel.
Right.
This is where we'll be. But I think because of the popularity of the cast, specifically Jennifer Lawrence, and with their like possibility of like, ooh, we can do Days of Future Past, which includes the old cast as well. Well, how can we add stakes to this if it's just a story in the future and a story in the past? Well, we'll make it so that one event, Mystique kills a guy, will prevent her from doing that, meaning she'll go good. And it's like, that's kind of that's interesting. Don't get me wrong. That is interesting, but I still feel that character didn't quite, for me at least, hit the way that maybe they wanted.
It wasn't the redemption arc that she needed.
Yeah, as opposed to like Tom Hiddleston's Loki.
Right.
Hit. That character took off popularity. Fans loved it, so that when he was brought back for Avengers as the villain, you know, like they brought him back for Thor 2. He was going to die in Thor 2. And Tom Hiddleston even recently said that was supposed to be permanent for real. But why did they bring him back? Because he was just too good not to. And he has like a good role in Thor 3.
Yeah.
So like to compare the Mystique thing with Loki, I kind of get Loki. Now he's getting his own show. I kind of get them toying with like, he could still be good. He could like, I get it because of popularity, because of the way the character's been built up.
Right.
You know, and even to go back to the comics, Loki's always even been just like a trickster god,
Right.
I'm not sometimes full evil, other times still like, I love you, Thor, my brother, and redemptive or whatever.
Yeah.
Mystique has always kind of been like,
Bad.
you know,
She's always just
caps motherfuckers,
hiding in the shadows.
Yeah.
She shows up, she fucks with Rogue, and
She's
then she
awesome.
leaves.
Yes.
Like that's what she does.
Yeah.
You know. But I feel like they made such a good choice with Hugh Jackman as Wolverine that they were like, how could we possibly miss with Jennifer Lawrence? You know. But I feel like that was just a miscasting, and now they're just kind of taking it for everything that it's for. Maybe she would have been better as the Phoenix. Like, what if they waited to cast her as the Phoenix? She probably would have been great.
As a younger Jean
Grey?
Grey?
As like a younger Jean Grey. You know, something like that.
Yeah,
but
you're not wrong. Like, yeah.
I think they were just confident in their casting, and I don't feel like that one hit for me.
Plus, I think also because of the continuity of this entire franchise being sort of all over the place, you know, we had these characters, we sort of had like this like soft reboot or prequel with X-Men First Class, establishing these characters, I thought, in a really cool way, and showing us a different side of the X-Men story, a younger cast. And then I thought they tied it all together really well in Days of Future Past, but then you get to Apocalypse, and they bring in Storm and Jean and Cyclops and Nightcrawler, and I'm like, and I wasn't feeling the vibe of like how it was all coming together, and it didn't really feel like, and especially going into this and her saying that to Jean, being like, you know, we're friends, we're family.
Right.
Like, we didn't get that connection.
We don't get enough of that. Of
Maybe
that
we haven't seen. I haven't like rewatched Apocalypse enough.
I haven't
I think
either,
I've seen it
but
once,
I don't
maybe
know.
twice.
Dude, I try to rewatch it.
But Days of Future Past, I could still pop in.
Oh, of course.
First
Totally.
Class, I could pop in. I could watch that. Like, I like those movies.
Same.
And even with like early entries in the MCU, if we're comparing it, like if there was a movie that came out and if there was a new Hulk movie, and they talked about, you know, Mark Ruffalo, Bruce Banner, and then they bring back Liv Tyler, and they talk about that epic romance, I would buy it. Do you know why? Because I've rewatched The Incredible Hulk probably more times than I've rewatched most other movies. Do you know what I mean? So like, but with Apocalypse, I'm not sitting there like enjoying that film and to be like,
it feels more like homework than something you actually want to do.
Right. Yeah. So
yeah.
I mean, I don't know, but
it just doesn't hold up for me.
But this trailer pretty much gave me what I expected, which is it looked like it had some awesome awesome action set pieces,
Yeah.
some cool moments.
I don't think
great
the
actors.
Quicksilver quick time or slow down moment is ever not going to be cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When that happened, I was
Right?
like, dope. Oh,
Yeah,
that'll be cool.
of course that's what
when
he
that
does.
obligatory Quicksilver scene will happen
course.
there, I'm like, that'll look super
Yeah.
cool.
First time we saw it was dope. Second
Yes.
time we saw it was
Was
just
still dope.
as dope.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
still
yeah.
dope.
It's going to be cool no matter
Yeah,
what.
I think the one thing that this movie is going to fight is a lot of comparison to X3, X-Men
Sure.
United, because there are similarities. Obviously, like she goes back home in both movies. There are-
Actually, X-Men
they-
3 was
they
X-Men
hinted
The
towards-
Last Stand.
yeah,
Yeah, they hinted towards the Phoenix at the end of that one. Like,
well, she like basically becomes the Phoenix.
yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, cool. This every time we see Jean, we're kind of pushing her into this Phoenix territory, and we're not. I don't feel like we're giving those characters enough room to sort of build up who they are and their identities and their arcs as characters. You know,
Well, I feel like you're right, because part of the reason why the Phoenix works so well is because you get to know Jean so much in the comics. Like,
Right.
you get to feel the
Right.
relationship between Scott Summers and Jean, and also Wolverine, like
Yeah.
the heartbreak that he has to go through with their weird relationship. And so, like, when she goes and gets absorbed by the sun, it's a big deal, you know. Like, Jean's gone; she's an integral member of the X-Men. Like,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
second. I mean, I guess Xavier calls her above him as far as power goes, but she's
Sure.
only second to Xavier. Like, there's
Yeah.
not a lot of people who are more powerful than her.
Yeah.
We don't get any of that. Like,
No.
we just get a young kid, kind of a telepath. We don't know what's up, and
Yep.
all of a sudden she's Phoenix.
This movie's going to have to do the work of reminding us who these characters are, what they mean to each other.
Yep.
Because the story of the Dark Phoenix saga is just as much about Jean Grey as it is about, like you're saying, everybody else who's affected
Exactly.
by it. And again, if this was a movie series that I think was a little bit more beloved, like the way the original X-Men movies were, because I don't know about you, but when Femke Jensen was going full Phoenix and Hugh Jackman was crying, I'm like,
Right.
okay, well, at least we spent 3 movies with these
Exactly.
characters, with these actors doing
Exactly.
this. So this movie's going to have to do the job right up front. It's going to have to like do all of that. It's going to have to show
Make you
probably
care.
in flashbacks, make you care and let you know. Even though the last X-Men movie came out 3 years ago now.
yeah.
These characters have been alive for that time. This is what they've been through, and this is where they're at now. But it does need to fill in that work that
It's a
comic
10-year
book
jump
readers,
every time.
yes, that comic book readers have because they'll be reading these long sagas.
Well, it's not even that, though. It's like it's not even presented correctly in the movies. We don't get those ties. Like, I don't feel like any of this is earned at this point.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel
That's
like
what I'm saying. It has to earn it, and it's cool when movies remix stuff. It doesn't have to be exactly like the comics,
Right.
But why did it work for the comics and you nailed it perfectly? It's because readers were there the whole time.
Exactly.
So like movies just have to like do the work and do that. It can't
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
drop us in scene 1 and
It's
expect
just like, now it's the
hey,
Phoenix.
you know, you guys just watch X-Men Apocalypse and it's your favorite movie and you just watched it last night. Here you go. No, everyone's gonna be like, no, dude,
Yeah.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
that since it came out and I
Yeah.
don't remember it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
people block that movie out.
Yeah.
So like.
Yeah.
legit.
Yeah.
I was rewatching it. I was like, I don't remember any of this.
I went to one screening at Fox, and I was like, I don't need to see this again.
I bought it on Blu-ray because I liked certain
Sure.
moments in it.
Because you're a completionist.
I'm a-
well, but like
kind
I
of.
would too.
Right, but especially because it was maybe the last time that Fox put out like a 3D Blu-ray, so I'm like, okay, this is
Yeah.
this is easy to buy. But I'm also not thinking about this right now. I'm knee deep in the MCU right now
Right,
because
right,
of
right.
Endgame.
Yeah.
But this comes out June 7th, so I already know my whole month of May
Yeah.
is going to be
X-Men.
me diving back into
To the
the
Phoenix
X-Men
saga,
franchise
yeah.
to be
Yeah.
able to say goodbye if this is going to be goodbye.
Sure.
So like. So yeah, I'm not even trying to geek out right now because I'm like I don't have the bandwidth. Okay, like
It's
I'll get to it
unfortunate.
in May.
I'm in the MCU right
unfortunate.
now, baby.
It's
Like-
unfortunate that this movie, there's there's no hype behind it because
Right.
we have such a big event coming up.
And maybe that's
Yeah.
on purpose, and maybe really we're going to get hit after Avengers.
mean,
Do you know what I mean?
maybe.
Maybe we'll be bombarded after.
I say this 1,000 times. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm
Sure.
hoping I'm wrong, and this movie's great.
We
'Cause
don't root against movies.
I came into First Class
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
my
yeah,
bar
yeah.
way down low as well.
Same.
And I was blown away.
Yeah,
So
Matthew Vaughn
hopefully-
It's
made
fun,
a great
man.
movie.
Yeah.
That was a fun movie.
Hopefully
Yeah.
this movie's fun and it gets me excited again. It makes me sad that they're moving over.
You know what
Yeah.
was dope? That Storm moment.
That was cool.
Gave me like, is she a larger character than
Yeah.
like that's
Yeah.
exciting,
Right,
But,
like we saw her go actually stormy, like more than we've seen in
Yeah.
other
and
things.
speak, and she had this wonderful accent. And I was like, oh
Right,
yeah, that was like the
exactly.
first X-Men movie.
She's
Halle Berry had that.
wise. She has poise.
That's
Like
right.
Yeah.
it's just
yeah.
we're maybe seeing that a little bit. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Well,
We
in the
just gotta
meantime,
wait.
rest in peace, Mystique. It's been nice having you around for 4 movies.
not
Rest in
confirmed death.
pieces.
Not confirmed
I
death,
think
but yes.
Simon Kimberg actually does confirm it.
Oh.
If that's the death, then that's
whatever.
what he confirmed. confirmed. So,
well, it's okay. I'm not gonna miss her.
Guys, let us know in the comments what you thought about this trailer for X-Men Dark Phoenix. Let us know. Are you excited about it? Are you not excited about it? What are you hoping to get out of this movie? Because I think we're all just sort of waiting for the MCU to kind of pass us by with Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame, and then we can focus on this.
Then we'll have bandwidth.
Exactly. In the meantime, subscribe to Hyper RPG, and we'll see you in the next reaction.